The world is changing faster than ever. What used to take decades is now taking years or even months.
What you see right now is the illusion that people have had for many decades about the workplace being this secure place to work the rest of your life.
For the first time in the history of our nation, our children will not do as well as us.
We've seen our friends get laid off, we've been laid off, we've had our pay cut.
People are overworked and underpaid. They seem to have less time and less freedom. They live under constant pressure.
This is going to be forced. And so even if your employer loves you, they may have to cut you. There's something wrong that on Monday morning, the heart attack rate increases by 35%.
Technology is accelerating, job security is declining. It just doesn't seem like the old models of making a living are as reliable as they used to be.
Every aspect of our lives, there's a better way out there, but we're still doing it the old way.
We live in the greatest country on the planet, and there are a lot of people sitting around complaining and being cynical.
Like everyone's whining about this old model, and I'm like, why don't you leave it? Look at all this over here. Look at all this opportunity.
Since so much of our lives revolve around our work and the way we make our living, many people are thinking there just has to be a better way. It's the search for answers that has brought us here together today. My name is Eric Worre, and for almost 30 years I've been an entrepreneur, struggling at times, but ultimately succeeding. As a best-selling author, speaker, and business owner, I've spent my entire career helping millions of people around the world to become entrepreneurs. And I believe strongly that there is, in fact, a better way when it comes to how we make a living. The career landscape has changed dramatically, and many are still working in a model that is completely out of date. What worked for previous generations isn't working as well for people today. In this new economy, is it better to become an entrepreneur, or is it safer to work for someone else? If a person decides to become an entrepreneur and start their own business, how can they do it without taking on massive risk? I've brought together some of the greatest experts and thought leaders in the field of entrepreneurship to share the real facts with you. My intention is to give you new information that will allow you to make choices that are not limited by an old, outdated model. I feel sorry for the person who dreads going to work, who is sick to their stomach on Monday morning, who hates their alarm clock, who gets a little glimmer of hope on a Wednesday because it's hump day and says, thank God it's Friday. And they live for those 2 days a week where they get to be themselves and they don't have to be around people they don't like, and they don't have to play the political game in the office, and they don't have to live this half life. The person that works 50 weeks a year just to be able to have the 2 weeks for vacation. And you know what happens to most of them nowadays? They don't have a vacation. They have a staycation. They have time off of work, but they don't get to go where they want to go because they're overextended. They've got all this debt. They got all this situation. They hate their alarm clock. They can't sleep until they're done. They have to spend most of their life in traffic. I feel sorry for that group of people because there's a better way. They just don't know it.
The basis for their life is worry. I'm worried, maybe I'll get fired. I'm worried maybe my company will go out of business. I'm worried I can't keep spinning the plates on paying the bills. I'm worried about how do I send my kids to college. I'm worried, what if the transmission of my car breaks? That's 2 or 3, I can't fix it. People live in a sea of worry, and it eats at them.
Those signs that people held up during the Depression didn't say looking for gainful employment in a cubicle. It said looking for work. Work is what we're looking for. Job is just a unit of measurement. Work is what we're going after.
It's time to look in the mirror and say, it's not the economy, it's my economy. It's my little world of where I am. I need to improve. I'm not going to wait for the economy to come back because frankly, the economy is doing great in this country.
It's my personal belief that if you put your future into the hands of yourself, in other words, you have earning power by yourself, I think you're a better investment than these guys. I think you controlling your future is a better option than handing over your retirement to these guys. The average household income in the United States is approximately $50,000 a year, what they call the middle class. To reach the top 25% of income earners, you'd need to earn at least $90,000 a year. To reach the top 10% would be a household income of $140,000, the top 5%, $190,000, and to be in the top 1%, you'd need a combined household income of at least $380,000 a year. So here's the question. What do you think would give you the best chance to move up and get to the top 10%, the top 5%, the top 1% or beyond? In my opinion, and in the opinion of many, many experts, the answer is to become an entrepreneur, to become your own boss.
The other status symbol really increasingly is lifestyle. I mean, people who can own their own business, maybe even work out of their house. That, I tell you, people admire that. Like, gosh, I wish I could do that. The spirit of the entrepreneur is to be a risk taker and to be resourceful and unstoppable and to have a vision of yourself beyond where you are and not willing to settle for life as it is.
Think about the great entrepreneurs. They're visionary. They have heart. They're willing to do today what others won't so they can do tomorrow what others can't.
Personally, I don't think of the new economy, the old economy. I create my own economy. The entrepreneur's in control. I decide what the economy is going to be like.
In the world of entrepreneurship, there are no limits. You can make as much as you want, depending on how much you want to work and how smart you are and how great a team you put together.
There's no more lifetime rewarding business than being an entrepreneur.
Why in America, where anyone could be anything, would people want to give up their freedom and become effectively a modern-day slave, told shut up and be here every morning at 7:30, leave at 5:30, and do what I tell you?
If people decide to become an entrepreneur and work for themselves, they have some traditional options, but they're riskier than you might think.
Any kind of a retail business, retail build-outs is extremely expensive. Even just these small little yogurt stores where they're putting little yogurt machines and you get all the different flavors, you're spending $200,000, $300,000, $400,000.
The reality is in network marketing, there's a lot of hard work involved. There's a lot of effort. You're going to have to develop yourself. It's a business like anything else. It's going to take some time, but in my opinion, it's better.
It's light years better for people starting today than it was even 5 years ago.
I think it's more widely accepted now, and people understand it is a business. It is being an entrepreneur. It is being a business owner.
Our belief system is based upon our evaluation of something, and frequently if we reevaluate a situation, our belief about that situation will change.
The industry has changed and it's grown up. It's totally transformed.
You've got young people today that have grown up with social media, and they understand networks. They understand how people are connected through technology, and they understand how money flows through those networks. So when they see network marketing, they don't see it the way their parents saw it.
And we've all learned, the larger industry that you represent, has all learned from those mistakes and flaws and errors that have happened early on. Early algorithms didn't work the right way. That's all fixed.
It's like when they design a computer program, they design the program, then they run it, and then they go back through and they debug it. The MLM industry has been debugged.
This is the day of being virtual, being able to run a business from your mobile phone. I mean, it's incredible.
Companies are getting smarter. They're implementing more consumer protections. They're implementing more compliance training. They're doing more with respect to product research.
If you do get involved and you make purchases of inventory, even on a voluntary basis, if you decide that this business is not for you, you can leave and have that inventory repurchased by the company. There's no other business that offers that kind of protection on a voluntary, self-regulatory basis.
You can become unstoppable.
I want everyone to really contemplate this if they're not in network marketing. You're in a job, you probably have a mortgage, you have rent, you have debt, whatever's going on. You're in a prison.
You work just hard enough to keep them from firing you, and they pay you just enough to keep you from quitting. Come on! I've been there, done that, and bought that t-shirt.
In network marketing, if you run into failure, it's really just a homework lesson for yourself. There's no one to blame.
You really have no excuse not to be successful. You just don't. People don't want to hear that, but there's so much available to you.
If you want to be a good network marketer, be a student to the people above you, be a fellow traveler to the people on the same level, and be a teacher to those below, and know when it's appropriate to do which.
Nothing happens until something moves. So you got to go move, you got to go do something, or nothing's going to change in your life.
in the beginning, you're going to do a lot of things that you don't get paid for. But as you go down the road, you get paid for a lot of things that you don't do.
And your job is rehabilitate the spirit, the entrepreneur spirit in all of us. Get it back.
Either give it a strong yes or a strong no, but no wishy-washy, dilly-dally stuff in the middle.
There's dreams and there are nightmares, but I believe that the biggest nightmare of all is when you don't pursue your dream.
You're going to see some monumental growth in this profession. It's an exciting, exciting time to be involved with the network marketing profession. The next 10 years, I see just exponential growth.
When that tipping point comes, it's not a matter of asking somebody, have you ever heard about network marketing? You're really asking them, which company are you building your wealth in?
We are here to fix the world, to improve relationships with other people, to improve other lives. And the real reward comes as an entrepreneur in any level from teaching somebody something and watching them soar. There is no greater reward.
Life's too short to spend it living someone else's dream instead of your own. It's too short to spend it living at a fraction of your potential. Can being an entrepreneur be a challenge at times? Sure. But here's what you get in exchange. It can be yours. Something that you built, something that you created, something that you made happen. This balloon represents your dream. It represents entrepreneurship. My wish for all of you is that you would reach out and grab it. The choice is up to you.